your tomorrow. He has a band of angels he's gonna send. I promise the day is coming soon when your tears will be for joy, because I promise Daddy's coming home again. You know, whenever we go out and play in front of any size crowd, I always kind of feel like we have more in common than we do different. I kind of think the world needs to get that message too a little bit. And I know that probably just like all of you, I have days in my life that are they are burnt. The images of that day are burned in my mind. And it could be for a good reason, or it could be for a tragic reason. Like, for instance, I remember like it was yesterday everything I did during the births of my two daughters. I remember when she was on the warming table. And then I remember just about 6 months later, I held her in my arms, wondering what kind of world I brought her into, as I watched as helpless people jumped out of the World Trade Center. And I know you guys have times like that in your lives too that you remember. One specifically for me happened 45 years ago, and I'll never forget it. 45 years ago, I came home to the tragic news that my brother-in-law, well, that's what the world called him. He was my brother in every sense of the word. When I was 5 years old and he was a senior in high school, he moved in 2 doors down from me. And he took me under his wing. I've never seen that happen. And I came home that day to the tragic news that he had died at work that day. You see, I thought it was so cool because my brother was a fighter pilot. A fighter pilot. He flew F-4 Phantoms for the U.S. Marine Corps. And that day we found out that off the coast of Hilton Head, his plane had mechanical malfunction and they had gone down into the ocean. And my family was in shock. No more so than my 22-year-old sister, who is now a widow with a 10-month-old little girl. 2 days later, I'm in Beaufort, South Carolina. And I'm sitting 2 down from my sister in a church as 2 Marines come up to her. And they're trying to place a folded American flag into her lap. And she's pushing it away. Like somehow, if this flag isn't put into her lap, John will come back. And finally, one of the Marines knelt down next to her and whispered in her ear. And whatever he whispered, it must have worked because she stilled her hands. And the flag was placed in her lap. And on that day, it was burned into my mind. The sacrifice that military families go through to keep my family safe. So if you are here tonight, first of all, if you have ever served in any branch of the military, or if you are currently serving, will you please stand up? Don't be shy, please stand up. If you have ever served in any branch of the military, please stand up. We'd like to recognize you tonight. And if you're a family member, an immediate family member of anybody who has served in the military, please stand up at this time and remain standing, because I wrote this song for you, and I'd like to honor you during the last verse of this song. Please remain standing. Lord to keep them. When I heard that mama say, Daddy's gotta go protect our country and make some bad men go away. But here's 3 promises that I'll make to you today. I told him, I promise the love's gonna be in your tomorrow. He has a band of angels he's gonna send. I promise the day is coming soon when your tears will be for joy, because I promise Daddy's coming home again. I promise the Lord's gonna be in your tomorrow. He has a band of angels he's gonna send. I promise the day is coming soon when your tears will be for joy, because I promise Daddy's coming home again. Because I promise Daddy's coming home again. Because I promise Daddy's coming home again. Would you please give a warm round of applause for all these folks that have sacrificed so much? Thank you.